Hello everyone. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel, Get Crafty with Sally. My name is Sally Poole and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Albany, Oregon. Welcome. Glad you could join me. The project that I'm doing today is this pretty card, and I am using the Winterly Treetops bundle. It's an awesome set. It can be found in the mini catalog on page 31. So it actually comes in a suite collection if you want all of the items that go with this. There's stamps, dies, an embossing folder, shimmer gems, linen thread, and of course the designer series paper, which we will be using today. And remember, if you buy the stamp and dies in a bundle, you do get 10% off the price. So that is that. This is what we are going to need for this project today. You can either take a screenshot of these measurements, or as always, I will have a PDF down below this video in the description box. You can just click on it and it'll open right up and you can get these measurements printed out, whatever you like. It's also over on my blog at Get Crafty with Sally. So let's see. I think the first thing we'll start with is, let me grab the designer series paper. Here is some of the papers in the pack. You can see that I've used it a little bit. This sheet is the sheet that the birds from this card came from, and the great thing about this sheet is there's a die in the set that cuts out these two little birds here that we're going to use on the card. So if you're not familiar with how to get these die cuts off this 12 by 12 sheet, you can see that I have already cut two of them out, and I just started from the left. You can start wherever you want. Go into the paper, cut around the image that you want, leave a little extra around the edge. You should have plenty of room to not have to go into any of the images that are next to it. So I have already cut out the little image that we're going to use. You can also fussy cut this if you want. I'm not that great at fussy cutting. I did fussy cut a different set of these birds that I used on my second sampler, which I will be showing in my next video in a couple of days. It took me a long time to fussy cut that. I'm not lying to you. But like I said, I'm not very good at it, and I get really picky when I do stuff like that. So it's possible to cut these out without a die. So let's get started with this card. I am going to take these Post-it note stickers off. I did include a piece of basic white 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside of the card. Hopefully I'll remember to actually put it in the card in this video. I always put them in there. I just, excuse me, a lot of times I don't do it in the videos. And this piece of Coastal Cabana is not on this sample card. I did do the sentiment, or am going to do the sentiment a little bit different for this card. This will be just a layer that goes behind the sentiment. So we'll set that aside. The first thing I think we'll do, I cut the, I don't know how well you can see this circle. I cut the circle with the Deckled Circles die, and you can see that this edge over here is cut off. This is kind of an interesting die in that it doesn't really fit in the center of the card. I guess you could put it on a different shape and move it right into the center, like the circle could have been scooted over into the center. So for this, there's two ways that you can go about that. I have just got a scrap piece of basic white, and I've got my Deckled Circles frames. The one I'm using is about, I believe, 3.5 inches. Yeah, it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 from the smallest. That will all be in my PDF. You might also be able to use, there's a circle die in the Christmas Friends set. If you have that, it might fit. I don't have that die set, so I can't tell you on that. Spotlight on Nature has some really awesome circle dies. In fact, I might make some more of these cards and use some of these dies because they are really cool. Also, I think there's a circle in the Everyday Details die set. I have it, but I couldn't find it. So it might be big enough. And of course, you don't have to have this 3.5 inch size. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. You don't have to have a circle. You can make whatever shape you want. So let me bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'll show you how I did this. I've got my plate 1, my base plate, a plate 2, a plate 3, and I'm going to take my paper, and you can either cut the entire circle out and then cut the edge off with your paper trimmer, or you can just lay the die on the paper, overlapping the edge a little bit, and then you'll just have that nice straight edge, and you'll actually, this way, know exactly what you're going to end up with. So I'm going to do it this way. Get that out of the way. So there's what we're going to end up with. So that's the shape that is on this card. And then I took my Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder, and I embossed this piece, which I've already done ahead of time, so we don't have to do that. Hopefully you can see that. Turned out really pretty. So let's put our card together. I'm going to grab my chair. Going to take my bone folder. This is the base card, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I am going to give it another good press with my bone folder. So let's take our, I guess this is a birch tree pattern, and it's actually in the paper pack that I showed you. This is really pretty too, don't you think? So I am going to put some tape on the back of it. I guess I could have used glue, then I wouldn't have to stand up and look at it. So I am going to center this over my piece of Coastal Cabana, and you don't have to use Coastal Cabana on this. It also has Pool Party in it, which matches these little birds really well, and many other colors that you could use. I just kind of like the bright pop of this on this card. So let's attach this piece to our card base. Are y'all getting ready for Thanksgiving? I am going over to my older brother's and his wife's house on the coast, the Oregon coast, for Thanksgiving. They host it pretty much every year, and he usually cooks a turkey and then also smokes a turkey breast, which is so good. You just can't even imagine. Delicious. So I'm looking forward to that. So the next thing we're going to do is, before we glue these down, I'm going to lay this circle on here with my sentiment and make sure that I've got enough room for everything. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to take my green glue, put a little glue on the back of this circle. You could also pop this up on dimensionals if you want. So let's adhere that to the card front. I'm going to scooch it right over to the edge of this birch paper. And then, I don't know if you noticed or not, there is a little extra white piece on this edge, and I'm going to cut it off just right at that little edge of the limb. So we'll just cut all that white off. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of the bird piece. And I think these little birds, I'm not sure what they are. They look like the top of their head feathers looks like cardinals, but I don't know that cardinals come in this color. Maybe. And I guess they don't have to because this is art. And I suppose they could be some kind of little wren or something like that. So let's line this up so our little branch is right to the edge of the white circle. This is probably going to come off the circle a little bit, which is fine. Gives it a nice look. And then I've already stamped the sentiment, "A friend like you brings me happiness." That is out of this set, the Winterly Treetops. And then I've cut a piece of Coastal Cabana. I should say that I did die cut this with the rectangle stitch dies. I did cut the Coastal Cabana a 1/16 of an inch larger than the sentiment. strip. So let's put some glue on the back of our sentiment strip. And we'll adhere that to the Coastal Cabana piece. So like I said, this would also look really nice with Pool Party behind it. And I guess I should have probably done this one in Pool Party so you could see the difference. And then again, you can either glue this down or pop it up. And I think if I can find some dimensionals here, I will pop this one up. Let me grab some of these little half guys. I certainly do keep Stampin' Up! In business with dimensionals, I'm sure. I just think that they're so handy. All right, probably don't need that many, but that is just kind of the way I roll. So let's take all these covers off our dimensionals so that we've got the sticky part available. I'm going to stand up again so I make sure to get this straight. We'll center this on our card as best we can. So that looks pretty good. And then I am actually going to remember to put my card insert in. So I'll just take my tape runner, make sure that opens on the right side, which this would have been a little bit too late, right? I think I've got adhesive on it. So let's line that up and center it inside our card. Give that a press. And then that could either be your finished card, or we could add some embellishments. And I've got rainbow adhesive back dots and fine sparkle adhesive back gems. And I believe these both have Pool Party in them. And I think I'm going to try the fine sparkle. I believe both of these are retired, but most of you probably have some of these. Let me grab my tweezers. And I think I will just put, well, I'm actually going to put a large, there's light ones and dark ones. Here's a light one. Large light one, and I'm going to put a small light one down here on the sentiment and a small dark one maybe over here. Okay, I like that. Adds a little bit of bling to the card. So here is the original sample, and for this one I did just cut the strip straight across so it matched the 4 by 5 1/4 panel. So this is 4 inches, and I think it's about 7/8 of an inch. And you've got a little room with this sentiment to play with it. You could make it skinnier than that if you wanted. Anyway, there's the 2 cards. Let me know what you think of them. I hope you'll be giving it a try. I think this is a great bundle. The paper is beautiful as usual for Stampin' Up. So thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you're getting anything out of my videos, please hit the like button, give me the thumbs up, share my video with your friends and family. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. I would really appreciate it. It helps my channel grow. You all are wonderful. I hope you have a fabulous Thanksgiving, and I will see you next time. Bye.